Good morning, guys. It's Jackie from Famished Farm, and we are outside after it seems like a week of rain and cloudy weather and just generally yuck. So been doing a lot of stuff in the house, but have not, other than a kind of morning stroll through the garden, haven't done a whole lot outside. But today I was so excited to be out here I forgot to turn my camera on. So let me give you a short rundown of what I've spent the morning doing. First off, I had a couple areas walkways that I had to do some roundup and some front planters edging with some roundup. We've got, I guess, a Bermuda type grass that just keeps taking over the front planters, and so I pulled out the big guns to hopefully stop that invasion. So that was a short amount of time this morning. Then I grabbed my little clippers and did a real quick cut of all of the little suckers growing off the trees out front, and then I did a massive pruning of my rose bushes. I think they're knockout roses at the end of the driveway, and when we moved here they were totally overgrown. It didn't look like they had been pruned ever maybe. So lots of real thick dead trunks growing up next to each other, and so we did a massive prune on that this winter, and then I just couldn't stand it anymore because there were so many spots in it that were dead, and so I did another prune. Don't do that in this time of year, but I figured I'd never remember what needed to be pruned later in the winter. So anyway, we did that, and I'll show you the result here. I'll put up a couple pictures of the end results. They look way better, much smaller, which is okay. I'd rather have them healthy and small than big and overgrown and dying. So anyway, we did that. I did cut off all of the little pruning parts, the buds and flowers. There were a couple of, open flowers, and I made a vase of those real quick and just took in the house. I'll show you a picture of that too. And then I grabbed my packets of sweet corn. So here's my first 2 rows of sweet corn, looking pretty good. Of course, that's I believe, cantaloupes that volunteered. That one looks fantastic. But those first 2 rows of golden bantam and peaches and cream look good. And then you get to these 2 rows. There's the 3rd row. And what I did is I was going to replant them, and I've discovered that there's something burrowing underneath there, and so not on this 4th row, but this 3rd row, there's something underneath there, so there was a lot of voided ground under there. So kind of filled that in. I don't know if it'll work to actually get them to come up, but if not, I've got there's a gourd. This is a Corsican gourd I just planted out this morning that had good roots. This is a crimson melon. There's another crimson over there that doesn't look like it made it. This is I believe, yes, that's a sugar baby melon. Here's another crimson. So I've got stuff that I'll fill in if I need to, when I need to. And then I'm also was contemplating, and maybe what I'll do, if this corn patch is successful, I will, instead of doing the 3 foot between, I've not done a lot of this high intensity gardening. It's pretty new concept to me. And it makes me now wish that I had done in between here, more rows instead of being 2.5 feet apart, or 3 feet apart. I wish I'd done, just a foot apart, but famous last words. And then I came over, and the strawberry bed, there's a lot of what looks like weeds in it. That's just the stuff I've pulled. I did a major weeding of that and then put down some more cardboard. And I've still got these, let's see if I can find, this is one of the bare root strawberries that I put in, Heritage, and there's been absolutely no activity. They've been in at least a month. I'd have to look and see what actual planting date was on that. But I sent a note to the company and they said give it, 6 weeks for it to come out of dormancy. So we will give it 6 weeks. Here's our San Marzano paste tomatoes. Those are doing okay. I've been shooting all the tomatoes with some soapy water. We've got a little bit of insect visits here, so we'll keep those monitored so we'll know if anything's biting. I just put in another sweet pepper here. These two Romas, and these were the smaller Romas that looked real puny when I put them out, but they're doing okay. This is a little iceberg lettuce that is somehow surviving. It's not thriving, but surviving. And then I just put this little sweet pepper out. And then these are Anaheims. That's a sweet that are not thriving. They're still green. Some pole beans there. Only one of 4 bush beans came up, so I'll plant some more out. Here's a tomato that's got, we'll get on that right away. That's a big red tomato back there in the front. These are Romas. This is my best producing Roma. And when I say producing, I mean growing. It's one of those real shrimpy ones that came from my original grow lights, so it's doing okay. And then we've never grown peanuts before, and I planted about 20, and here's the peanuts coming up. And so far I've got 7 of them that have come up. Got a marigold right there in the center. So not a great germination of the peanuts, but I have noticed the neighbor's dog and my dog love jumping up in this bed. So nasturtiums are doing real well. Another one over here. And then in this bed, still waiting on quinoa. I don't know what it looks like when it comes up. So this is probably a weed. That's probably a weed. But I'm afraid to pull it because I might be pulling something important. And then these 2 tomato plants, which I left, they're volunteers, and I hope they're cherries because I didn't plan on planting any, but who doesn't want a couple cherry tomatoes? So hopefully they'll come up, and those also I'm spraying with some soapy water. And then the beans in the front, on the sides rather, here, and then over on the other side here. Those are black beans. First time growing those. Zucchini, not thriving. Snow peas, I've replanted them. I think this one here is one of the new ones coming up, but boy, those have been not great. This is a big red tomato back there. Nasturtium, not thriving. And first time growing carrots. Got a few of those coming up. And then these are kidney beans in the middle of this planter that's coming up. Here's an acorn squash coming up. And then I just planted tomatillas, and these actually look pretty good off of my starts. Another one down there. Cucumbers in the back doing okay. Pole beans on that end doing okay. So the rest of the day I'm going to plant some more seeds where things haven't come up. Oh, I need to show you my lettuces. Hold on. So this is a bucket of sorrel that we're growing as baby lettuce. My Swiss chard. And then these two on the end are just mixed lettuce, and I harvest this every other day or so. And then over here we have what Tilly considers her play area, and so again I've got a dog jumping through these pots. Basil's coming up nice. There's one little lonely dill. There should be some parsley. These are some green onions, and the grape cuttings I threw in there too. Oh, here's the little dill. Oh, here's another one. So these are the buckets she loves jumping in, because there's lizards and frogs living in this planter, and we're going to make a water feature here one of these days. When I can visualize it, we will. And then over here, if we can do this without the mower sounding, this is the grapes, Suffolk grapes, and I need to get the arbor or the trellising system going. These are my little lemons, and this is my key lime, doing okay. Here's the other grape, doing okay. And then unfortunately, if you saw my video about the herbicide drift from the field next door, I don't hold out much luck for these raspberries, but if I can get them through. Okay, so remember when I planted them, they were about as tall as the stake, and then Rod ran over them with the mower. So here's what's left after the mower and the herbicide. And most of those leaves look good on that side. And then on this side, right down in the center, so right here, we've got some nice new growth. This plant I think is going to make it okay. The other guy over here, I'm not so sure, but we'll see. And then my lilac, you can tell the damage on the leaves, but I think he'll pull out of that okay. Here's all of the debris from the rose bushes, and that's kind of where we stand. So boy, I just can't wait to see those trellises filled with plants, and they're not coming up soon enough for me. But you know how that is. We want our gardens to grow big and green. Oh, here's a question. What is this? I think I asked this once before, but these are growing out of my blueberries with no berries on them. And they grow straight, just like a straight up stalk. And I wonder if that needs to be cut out or what's causing that. And this is a hybrid This was a blackberry blueberry, and the blackberry has either, I don't know what happens on grafted kind of fruits, but the blackberries no longer. We haven't, the 2 years that we've been here, it hasn't produced. And this year, I mean, this is way better blueberries than we had. They like that -7-degree weather. And then these are the little guys we put in. A couple little buds on there. We'll get a couple off of there. This is the plant that really I had to doctor the roots. It was real bound up. And those were both $7 clearance plants. My second year blueberries, I don't see a lot of fruit on these. So they did fruit a little bit last year. So I don't think it's a pollination thing. They must not have liked our cold snaps that we had after their bloom set. But oh, here's that marigold. So anyway, that's my quick update, and I'll give you a view here of the garden. Lots of room for improvement. Oh, see those strawberries over there? Ooh, yes. Okay, guys, give me your updates. Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. And we'll see you until next time. Bye, guys. See you next time.